Happy Thursday, everybody. We are down by the mall. I came down to the bookstore hoping to get the new Vanity Fair issue. It's got a whole chunk of new Star Wars stuff in it. I know folks that are in other markets actually got it as of last Friday. It was supposed to be out Wednesday, and of course the bookstores here don't have it yet, which one of the joys of living in a big city like New York was that I used to always be able to get the magazines the Fridays before the dates that are supposed to come out. And make no mistake about it, for as cool as Orlando is, we are in a small town. It's a small market, and it may be getting bigger, but it's a small market, and as a result we don't necessarily get things as fast as some of the other markets. So now I need to keep fishing back at the bookstore to see when they're going to get the new copy in, so I can at least make sure that I can see all of the glorious new pictures of episode 7. So on that note, we're going to head to the comic store, pick up a couple of comics, head back home, and actually get ready a little bit for Star Wars Weekends. It kicks off tomorrow at Hollywood Studios, and we need to come up with the game plan for what we try to see on day one, and how much stuff I'll be able to tape for you guys. Shoot video. I don't want to say tape because it kind of dates everything. We're not shooting on tape anymore, but how much video we can shoot so that you guys get to see all of the Star Wars Weekend's goodness. We wrapped at the mall. We got our comics, walked around for a little bit, and I'm looking at Twitter and I see that the Orlando Eye is down again, right? So it was down this afternoon, and apparently now it's down all the way until sometime on Saturday. So I guess, 2-3 days for it to be fixed. It's actually been down basically every day since it's opened up, and I guess you can see one side of the argument of when the Eye is down, it's a ride. Rides are meant to break down every so often. It happens at Universal, it happens at Disney, SeaWorld, pretty much anywhere that you go. At least there's some understanding that the rides are going to break down every so often. It is a brand new ride, and I know that they have to work out bugs and everything too, but having said that, it's really tough to swallow that you've opened a place with fanfare to only be broken down every single day. I'm not going to harp on the Eye because I know that some folks have really positive reviews, although I will say a lot of the positive reviews that came out were from folks that had their way paid for media opportunities. And that's kind of why I'm glad that we went as a family and didn't go as media, so that we would give you a little bit more upfront review. And my review is in line with what other folks are doing as well. I'm not slamming it. I think it's a wonderful thing. I think Sea Life was fantastic. I think Madame Tussauds was great. The Eye was great. It was way overcrowded the day that we went, but we did go on a Saturday. But having said that, I still would say now the Eye is a fantastic concept, but there's really nothing to see from the Eye directly unless you buy like a pair of binoculars or you have a super zoom camera. The only thing that you see all around you from the view are basically rooftops, a Denny's, a mini golf course that's across the street, and a lot of parking lots and traffic around the Eye itself. So I love, like I said, I love the concept. If they did it downtown Orlando, I think it would be fantastic, so you can see the city. You can see the city from the Eye, but it's so far in the distance, it looks like, kind of like Peter Pan, when you're flying over the city, or E.T. when you're in that ride and you see the city in the distance, except those cities actually look a little bit closer. Last note on the Eye, for those that think that you might be able to see the fireworks at Disney very well, it's really, really far away, so it's going to look really tiny, again, unless you have binoculars or some type of zoom lens. Having said that, Disney has a balloon that takes off at downtown Disney. It's called Characters in Flight, and the balloon goes like 400 feet in the air, which is basically the same height as the Eye, except you are a lot closer, and you can get in that balloon, the Characters in Flight balloon, when the fireworks are going off. So you're that much closer, and it does look way cool to see the fireworks when you're up in the air at night, but you're that much closer. So you're taking away the ability to be able to see the city or the glimmers of the city from a distance from the balloon at night. But if you wanted to see the Disney fireworks or the park stuff, that's another option just to keep in mind. You ever have one of those days where you think that maybe your spouse did something wrong and they're trying to apologize to you or something? So this is what I come home to. Mary's making fried pork chops and zucchini fried. I like it steamed usually, but that's pretty good. But fried pork chops, and we've got noodles happening too.
Yeah.
Today's a good day, just saying. Mary must want something.
No.
I think you're fibbing. I think you're fibbing.
No, my coworker said chuletas, and I was really excited. I went home and made them.
Yay! Alright, so we're back home. We ate, played a little bit of Grand Theft Auto again and got sidetracked, but we're going to get ready to go to bed soon for Star Wars weekends. But before we end up heading off, I did want to talk about a couple of things because I know folks ask a lot of questions about Star Wars weekends, and just wanted to cover off on a couple of things that might help you if you're going to Star Wars weekends over the next few weeks at Hollywood Studios. One thing you should know is that if you are looking to meet celebrities and the voice actors or the stars of the movies, they do sign autographs, at least some of them. Frank Oz and Ian McDiarmid are not going to be signing autographs, but they will do talk shows, and we'll get to that in a minute. But if you're looking for autographs, they hand out like old school fast pass pieces of paper to get in line for autographs. So typically if you arrive to the park and you don't wait in line to get one of those fast pass tickets, they generally don't take up walk up people. They're not obligated to, at least. Some of them will take them after their sessions, but they normally have 2 to 3 signing sessions a day. And what you normally would do is that some folks will queue overnight, or at least many hours before the gates actually open. It's generally to the right side of the booths as you are walking in, and we'll probably film that tomorrow when we get over there. And you can, obviously the earlier you line up, the better chances you are for an earlier session for them to autograph things. They will autograph one item for you, and then it's up to their discretion whether they give you like a pre-signed headshot or not, and whether they'll take pictures. Generally everybody takes a picture with you in addition to getting your autograph. You'll see people wandering the park sometimes with like wagons of stuff that they want people to sign. So they'll have stormtrooper helmets, they'll have different props or different things, and it's all cool. Mostly everybody is great with signing with whatever you bring them to sign. There's only been a couple of times that I remember guests that specifically said that they wouldn't sign something of yours and they would only sign the little Disney headshots, and that was like Anthony Daniels, who plays C-3PO. In the past, he's had issues with signing your particular items. The other thing you should note is the store. So this year the store is in a different place. They've called this Darth Mall, play on words, for a couple of years now, or a few years. It was previously located over by Tower of Terror. Then the last couple of years it was back towards Toy Story. This year it's over towards the old Backlot Tour building. And it's broken into 2 different sections this time. They have a section for collectibles, which are the limited edition type things like pins, and then there's another section for general items that are not limited, like t-shirts or plush things and stuff like that. And that's off to the right, I believe, to the right. But it's 2 separate sections, 2 separate checkouts. So if you're waiting in line in the morning, like we're probably going to get there to try to get merchandise tomorrow and wait in line, when you wait in line for one, you then have to get through that to the register and then go wait on the other line to check out or to shop in the other store. A bummer, but that's the way that they have it set up this year. Also, if you're looking for limited edition merchandise, they limit it to 2 pieces of each item per guest that's coming through the door. Pass holders this year, Disney's done something special, so you get a poster, a different poster every week while supplies last. I believe of like Disney characters in Star Wars, kind of mashed up, and that starts tomorrow for pass holders. So that's pretty cool. They have different food plans or different special events that you can buy into for Star Wars weekends. So they have a breakfast that's available, they have a dinner that's available. The breakfast is with actual characters from the movies, so you get stormtroopers, Jawas, Greedo, those types of characters. And they give you kind of all you can eat breakfast that includes like eggs, Darth Vader waffles, I believe, some pastries, blue milk, stuff like that. Ideology and Madness went to the breakfast. They also went to the dinner on May 4th. So if you check their site, they have a whole review up of what they have available. The dinner is with Disney characters. So you get like Jedi Mickey and Minnie Leia and Darth Goofy and Donald Duck, Stormtrooper, and those guys. And that's a buffet over by Primetime Grill. And the breakfast, by the way, is at Drive-In, the Drive-In Theater. I can't think of the name of it, but the Drive-In place. They have a Feel the Force package again this year, which we did last year. We didn't do the dinner last year. We did the breakfast. I didn't think the breakfast was worthwhile. The dinner we just never tried. And we did the Feel the Force package last year, which basically, I'm not sure if it changed over a year, but last year it got you a special seating area for the parade and for a little stage show that they do after the parade. And during the parade, you got unlimited beverages like soft drinks, and you got unlimited ice cream bars or ices. And it gave you a dessert party towards the end of the night where it included unlimited cupcakes and pastries and all kinds of cakes and cookies and stuff like that, and unlimited adult beverages. And then it gave you a designated spot that you could see the fireworks at the end of the night. I thought the Feel the Force package was expensive last year, but I felt that it was worth it for what you got, because if you could drink adult beverages, it was worthwhile, because you could drink that certainly with the prices of what adult beverages cost. If you buy them singularly, I think this year adult beverages, cocktails are running somewhere like $12 to $14.50 in the Cantina area at like Watto's Grotto or around the park. So just think, you know, if you're paying like $40 or $50 for a thing, that's just a certain amount of drinks, and you're making up the price right there. They also have a new thing this year called Rebels Hangar. So what they did is take Backlot, the food service area, and take a portion of that and designate it towards like Star Wars type stuff. So I think from what I saw online today with pictures, it's just some like a hodgepodge of Star Wars type stuff, like a chicken Walker leg, there's an X-Wing wing, and there's a whole bunch of stuff like out there, and there's Star Wars themed foods and Star Wars drinks and everything for people to consume. You need reservations for that, but then I believe it's like a la carte pricing, so whatever you want to order, if you order like chicken fingers or whatever else, they charge you per item that you're ordering. So they got that going on. And one thing you should know, when you come to Star Wars weekends, a couple things. If you're looking for shows, you might want to check through My Disney Experience, the Fast Passes online, see what you can try to get. Otherwise, you tend to wait in line a long time for each show. So they do the Stars of the Saga every day throughout the weekend, and that's just generally a talk show that James Arnold Taylor will host, and whatever stars they have in town for that weekend, they'll all be part of that show. There's a Rebel show also each day, and the Rebel show is geared towards whatever character is at the weekends for that particular weekend, and they'll interview them as well and show clips behind the scenes of Rebel stuff. Both of those shows are really good, and then depending on which characters are also there, they may have other shows as well. Like Warwick Davis, who plays Wicket the Ewok, has his own like little one-man show that he does. Ray Park, who plays Darth Maul, does his own like martial arts type show and involves kids. It's a really great show. But again, if you don't get fast passes for those shows, you tend to wait in line. You probably would want to get to the theater at least like an hour before the show starts to try to get a seat. Because seating is limited, and everybody that's going to Star Wars Weekend wants to go to the same thing that you're going to. The parade. One thing you should note about the parade that's different about Magic Kingdom, the route for the parade at Hollywood Studios is much, much shorter than Magic Kingdom. So you're looking at like a block and a half city-wide blocks to go from start to finish. And everybody that's at Star Wars Weekends wants to go see that parade at the same time. So you will be like 7 or 8 people deep, unless you get there super early to try to stake out a spot that gets you up close where you can see things and the characters can interact with you. There will be pushing and shoving like there is at every Star Wars Weekends, where people show up at the last minute and think like, hey, I paid for this vacation for my kids, why can't they just jump right in front? That will happen. But for the most part, the cast members are very good at kicking those folks back further in line behind you. So you do want to allot enough time to be able to see the parade. I like that parade a lot. It's a lot of fun. The 501st marches every year. Really a ton of great stuff to see, both Disney characters as Star Wars and then Star Wars characters themselves, so you check that out. And the fireworks at night, they're some of the best that the parks offer, I think. So at least the past 2 years, the fireworks have been really, really awesome. Other than that, same old common sense things. You know, if you can, bring snacks, bring a bottle to refill for water throughout the day, stay hydrated. The one thing that happens during Star Wars weekends is that it'll be very, very hot this whole weekend, or generally throughout the weeks. It only starts to get worse. So, you know, figure every day to at least be in the 90s, and also figure every day that it's probably going to rain. So bring an umbrella, dress appropriately. You're going to sweat. If you guys meet up with us at any of the days of Star Wars weekends, be prepared. We're not going to look our Sunday best because it gets ridiculously hot and you start to get drenched in sweat. And it's the unfortunate thing. So anyway, I'm going to head off to bed because I'm going to get up probably in about 4 hours and head over to the park and show you what it's like to wait in line when it's pitch black and see what the line camaraderie is like. And we'll talk a little bit more tomorrow and try to break up the day into different spots. I plan to try to get there early and stay late to show you guys everything that they got to show and see and do at Star Wars Weekends, day one. So have a great night. By the way, anybody that watched yesterday's video, you know, we're talking about the Cup. It starts Saturday in New York. These are the guys that we're pulling for. So anyhow, on that note, thank you for all of your likes. Thank you for your comments. Thank you for your subscriptions. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Have a great night. We'll see you guys. Go Bolts.